Pedro Moura here from ESPNLA.com alongside Peter Yoon from ESPNLA.com also. We're here at 2012 Pac-12 Media Day at Universal Studios in, I think the city's called Universal City, California. We're just giving you our few thoughts from USC and UCLA's respective press conferences here at Media Day. USC, obviously the expectations are a lot higher around this team this year. I thought it was very interesting that Lane Kiffin pointed out afterwards in lunch with reporters that, sure, people are thinking better of him. People are liking him across the country, and especially locally. People are going up to him on the street and saying, "Good job, Lane. We love what you're doing." But that doesn't mean that he's changed the way he's coaching. He believes that just means that people are starting to realize that, hey, this guy's winning, and we should probably like him. He said, winning solves every problem, or most problems that you can have as a college football coach. So he's aware of that, and I think people should be aware of that. That maybe if the Oregon kicker had made that kick at the end of the game, then maybe people wouldn't really be loving Lane Kiffin right now. But that's how college football works, and that's how life works, So it's interesting, and I think that was a good point out by Lane. What was the biggest thing you noticed from UCLA's Media Day today, Peter?
Well, I think my big takeaway was Jim Moura. He's a new guy in the conference, so we don't really know what to expect from him. But he's talking a lot about toughness and bringing that element to UCLA, which has sort of been lacking, over the last 5 or 6 years at least. And he's taken the team out to San Bernardino for training camp this year as a team bonding, but also in an effort to build some toughness. I mean, they're going to be practicing in really hot conditions out there, and they're just going to be staying in college dorms with no friends, no girlfriends, no parents, none of that stuff around. So if anything goes wrong, if they get into a fight with each other on the field, they're just going to have each other to discuss it with when they go back to the dorms. So, it's team bonding and building a little bit more of toughness for UCLA.
And then we wanted to discuss also how long do you think it's going to be until UCLA catches up to USC? Obviously, when you have a new coach, the immediate expectation in this city is when can you catch up to your more successful cousin or brother around town, your rival. How long do you think it's going to take Jim Moura and his crew?
Well, speaking of brothers, if you ask Tevin McDonald, it's not going to take very long. Tevin McDonald is a safety for UCLA. His brother is TJ McDonald on USC. And he told us today that he's been playing the new NCAA 12 video game, and he was UCLA versus USC against one of his friends, and UCLA won the game by 10 points. And he said, so, if we got one in the game, why can't we get one in real life? I'm not sure that how much that translates, but I think you got to give it at least 4 years. I mean, USC is so far ahead of UCLA at this point. I mean, USC is a perennial top 10 team, and UCLA is nowhere near the top 25. So, give Moura 4 years, put his plan in, get his players in that he recruits, and his schemes, and we'll see. I mean, if he's the right guy, I'd say 4 years. USC's obviously been dominant for a while now. What's it going to take for them to continue that run and stay successful and stay ahead of UCLA?
Well, I think they have to get a little bit lucky in terms of running back depth. Lane Kiffin said, you heard, their number one concern is running back depth, and there's really nothing they can do about it at this point in the year unless they do recruit the Penn State running back that has been rumored. There's really nothing they can do to add more depth, so they just have to keep their guys healthy. I mean, they have one running back with any sort of legitimate experience. If you take that kid away, it's going to be very difficult. And the kid is Curtis McNeil. It's going to be very difficult for them to have success when they have, no proven running game. I mean, sure, maybe they can pass 65, 70% of the time, but that game will still be difficult. Then my other question with USC is, sure, their offense will be successful in this conference almost without a doubt. I feel very comfortable in prognosticating that. But what about their defense? If they get to a bowl game against an SEC team that'll run it down their throats, is their defense big enough? Can they handle it? I am not sure. Maybe we'll find out by October, November. Maybe it'll take until January in the game. Who knows? But that's probably my biggest concern at this point if I'm looking at USC's perspective. So this has been Peter Yoon and Pedro Moura for ESPNLA.com. Thanks for joining us.